Welcome to the Weekend Toy Review. Today we're unboxing the Big Z, Zaalbar himself from the Star Wars The Knights of the Old Republic, Hasbro's The Black Series. I'm Mark, you're watching Prime Toys Media. Let's go! We got Zaalbar, the Wookiee from Knights of the Old Republic. I saw this and went, you know what? It's Chewbacca with a big ass sword. How can you not have a Chewbacca with a big sword? Right? And I know he's not Chewbacca, not all Wookiees look alike, right? I got this one from GameStop. I'm not sure if he was an exclusive, but I didn't see him at any other stores. Got a little quick bio. You are alone to determine the destiny of the entire galaxy in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, featuring iconic Star Wars locations and original characters like Zaalbar, a Wookiee who aids Revan in their quest. Didn't really play the game. It's Chewbacca with a sword, guys. Package art's really cool. Love how mean he looks there. Just giving that look like what? What are you going to do? It's the same art that's on the back. It's very cool. But enough of this. Other than that, packaging's nothing fancy. Gaming greats. That whole line. We got the Shadow Troopers we'll be looking at later too. But let's crack into this. Like I said, guys, there's his giant sword. He also has the bowcaster. Comes in two pieces. We got to put it together. Looks to be the same one that they usually ship with Chewbacca. You got the main gun. And you got the top here. You just snap together. And before you guys flame me for trying to mount it on the top to the sights, it goes underneath. There you go. Bowcaster assembled. Zaalbar, the Big Z, with his big sword. Got the bowcaster mounted on the back. There's a little itty bitty clip there. Not sure if that's exactly what it's for, but it lines up with that middle peg. Holds it pretty nice. Holds the sword well too. It's got a good grip on it. Now, not a lot of articulation in this figure, being that all this sculpt. You can see the elbows are covered by the hair. The knees are covered by the hair. A lot of hair on the foot, which is great because it really helps with the sculpt, right? Big hairy booty. But it's going to impair the motion a lot. So we got full swing. But when it comes to the elbows, it's all the articulation you get in the elbows, guys. Not even a full 90. Not much you can do about it. Same thing with the knees. You know, just that single hinge, and it gets caught on the fur. So you're not going to put him in any kind of crazy ninja poses. Does have the swivel at the upper thigh, and both legs. A little bit of twist movement in the upper torso. You're limited due to the whole little harness he's got going on, which is understandable. And almost no head, actually no head articulation. His head's glued on tight. One other thing to note, can you see that blaster, bowcaster, if you will? So there it is. You can see it's in his grip. The finger obviously doesn't line up, but it lines across his inner thigh, or his inner arm, which means it's not exactly straight. He's always shooting off to the side, which wouldn't be an issue except for his head doesn't turn. So he can't look where he's shooting unless you stick it right in front of him. So I'm not the hugest fan of the bowcaster in terms of using it as the actual prop. I do like it on his back. I wanted to show you guys though, if you look at the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Chewbacca, It is the same Bowcaster, just with a better paint app. It's not all black like Chewbacca. I do like the gold and gray versus the solid black, which is nice. The other thing to note, the head sculpt's different on this Star Wars Empire Strikes Back edition Chewbacca. I haven't compared it to other Chewbaccas yet. So the whole head, and it looks like the upper body is different. But the crotch area and the legs are the same mold, just repainted. And I'd have to check other Chewbaccas to see if that's a common occurrence. Are they keeping all the bottoms of all the Wookiees the same? The arms, looks like the same arm and hand molds as well. Once we get this Chewbacca out of the package in a later episode, we'll bring Zaalbar, Barbadar, Big Z. We'll bring him back in for a comparison again in a little more detail. But there's a rough, quick with him next to a Chewbacca. So looking at this guy in more detail, his head sculpt is really cool. I mean, it's what you'd expect to see from a Wookiee. You got some teeth shining, lots of hair sculpted. Could use a little more paint app like you saw in that Chewbacca. Had some shadowing. You can see the difference in the plastics on here. It's like a glossier, and then different areas a little more matte. Some areas stand out a little different. It's not a bad touch. It's the hard plastic versus the flexible rubbery plastic. But like I said, limited articulation, but it's a Wookiee, right? He's just going to be a big imposing force. Let's take a look at him next to some other figures and see how well he scales. One more thing, as you can see here, he is flexible enough to grab the sword with both hands at one time. I don't know if I would leave it in this pose for long, because I think I'm stretching his fingers a little more than I should be, but I thought it looked cool for a second. Now, coming from the generation where we broke the fingers off a lot of our G.I. Joes, I do appreciate the flexier hands and fingers than we had back in the day. Here's Chewbacca with a Diamond Select Doctor Strange. A little weird seeing them both the same tall. They're the same tall guys. Seeing them the same height. So probably wouldn't scale too well with the Diamond Select guys unless you wanted a midget Wookiee. Here he is with the hood. Probably a better representation of what you're going to normally have this Zaalbar posed with. Your Star Wars Black Series figures. So Chewie is taller, and he should be. So it looks great. Really like the mold. Of course, who doesn't like a Wookiee? Who doesn't like a Wookiee with a sword? And that is an impressive sword. It's got a nice two-tone, three-color actually. Got the gold, the silver, and the blade. So can't go wrong. If this is your first time here, make sure you give it a like and a subscribe. We open toys old and new on the channel. Lots more to come. And of course, let's go out with some cool pics.